David Drake was one of my all-time favorite authors. And he did a series, military science fiction called Hammer Slammers, and that was the name of a mercenary regiment commanded by Colonel Elwell Hammer. He did a whole, mostly short stories, he did a couple of novels, and then he did several other books and stories sort of in the universe. Um, and it was very gritty, very realistic. Of course, he was a combat veteran himself, so and I really enjoyed his writings. I'm sort of unclear as to why they weren't more popular than they were, but he was reasonably successful, wrote a lot. But anyway, there were several games based on his work, which he approved of, and I didn't hear about him until relatively recently. And a couple of them are out of print. One of them still is. So I went about gathering them, and thanks to Noble Knight Games, I was able to get the two out of print ones. So the first one, which is still in print, is Hammer Slammer's Crucible. And this is a set of miniatures wargaming rules. And this is where they use various scale miniatures, and they work by, it's the old sand table type wargaming. And they work by distances, and you can move X number of centimeters, and you have line of sight, and so on and so forth, and that sort of thing. And so this was still in print, so I went ahead and grabbed one up. Next thing was a hex type board war game, based on the novel, series. And this was Hammer Slammer's board game. This was in 1982, and I'm kind of surprised I missed it when it came out, but it didn't last very long. So Noble Knight Games, they had one still new in the shrink wrap. So I snapped that up. So now I've got that for my collection. I don't know if I'll ever play it or not. I've been reading some reviews, and it was, okay. But I've got similar stuff, including GEV and Ogre and whatnot, which are going to play very similarly to this. And so I may or may not open the shrink wrap on it. But the other one I was not really thinking about getting it. It was fairly expensive. And what it is a role-playing supplement for the Traveler system. And it's a Hammer Slammers. And I've never played Traveler. In fact, I wasn't really familiar with it. It's been around a long time, and it's one of the earliest science fiction type role-playing games. And this one was early 2000s, I think. This was in print, and it's gone out of print since. But again, I didn't have any particular interest in it. But now that David Drake has passed, it's like, well, and I got the other two games, it's like, And this was a bit much until it went on sale. Thank you, Noble Knight Games. It's like, it's like the game junkie. Just a little taste. Yeah. But anyway, so I went ahead and picked it up. And it wasn't terribly expensive. It's in superb shape. It's a nice hardcover, glossy. They give the various information you need for role playing in the Hammer Slammers universe. They've got the weapons, and they've got the vehicles, the hover tanks and the power tanks and whatnot. And I've flipped through it. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. And again, I don't play Traveler, so I'm not sure if this is a standalone or if I'm going to need Traveler basic rules or what. And I don't know, again, if I'll ever play it. I've got other games that I do play. What I could do, though, is because I do play GURPS, and GURPS is truly universal. I can convert this to GURPS and start playing in a GURPS setting if I were to start playing it. But I did pick it up, and it does have a foreword by David Drake, so it does have a little more of his writing. But yeah, it's a nice hardcover. Add it to my collection, and now I've got all of the Drake approved gaming materials based on his Hammer Slammers universe. There's a few more. I've got almost all the Hammer Slammers series. There's a few more short stories out there that I'll have to scrounge around and stamp up. He's got a number of other series that I did not get that I can still go looking for. His Isles series, I only read one or two of those books. The RCN series, I've read 5 books, I think, of those, and there's a lot more I need to pick up on those. And then there's just a lot of other materials out there that he's got. Oh, Northworld. I've read all of the Northworld books, but I think I own one. Excuse me. So I've got a lot of his stuff that I still need to pick up. But at least I have his approved gaming materials, and I was fortunate to be able to correspond with him before he passed away. And one of the things I did, so he did a book on hunting dinosaurs, time travelers hunting dinosaurs, which I've always gotten a kick out of. And I did a video on the appropriate firearms to take with you if you're going to go back in time and hunt dinosaurs. And I shared it with him, and he got a kick out of it, which I thought was freaking awesome. So I thought that was neat. But anyway, so my David Drake gaming collection is now complete.